This is the fatherhood experience. Turn it up, cause tonight you'll learn how to leave behind the average dad life. This the fatherhood experience. It's time to lead my family and become the father figure I deserve to be. The fatherhood experience.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fatherhood Experience, where we help dads become better dads. We are your hosts, Jason Priest and Zach Smith. And today we have a Q&S segment with some really awesome questions, man. We got some great questions from you guys. So really appreciate all of you who continue to submit questions. Anybody that wants to submit a question for our next Q&S segment, please send that email to info@thefatherhoodexperience.com, and we will answer your questions live on our show. Make sure they're good, man. We're not gonna we're not gonna talk about any garbage questions, man. Don't send in bullshit, man. Like, you guys ask us legit questions that you want solutions to, not just an answer. We're here to give you a solution. All right. And so also want to give a big shout out to all you guys who continue to follow along with our mission. We truly appreciate all of your support in helping us make the biggest impact we can in the lives of other fathers, man. We have a desperate problem in our country right now and a big need for fathers to step up in a big way. So we can lay the foundation for a healthy country moving forward. So thank you guys. If you get any value, dude, just share the show. That's all we ask, man. We're not here to waste your time. This will be a fairly short episode today because we got 3 great questions, and we're going to dive right in, dude. And so, Zach, I'm going to get 2 words out of you before we go into the first question. But how's life in your world? What's going on? I know you got a pregnant, probably a little bit cranky wife, and you got a kid who you're trying to re-sleep train. So sleep in your house has not been at its peak.
She's not cranky. It's the other way around, actually, as a matter of fact. She's doing better than me. So
I love it.
Yeah. She's a trooper, man. And I'm being a bitch, I guess. I don't know what the hell's
going
on.
Hey, dude, we earn that right sometimes, right?
It's been a little bit difficult trying to re-sleep train Ace leading up to the birth of the second kid, because we can't have 2 kids not being able to sleep correctly. You know what I mean? Nope. It will be a massive train wreck if we do not solve this before July. So,
well, I'll tell you, It's funny you said that. With my kids, my Blake just turned 8, and Colin, I've talked about it on the show before. Colin came down for the 796th time last night in a row. He has yet to sleep in his bed all night, a single night. So I get it. You cannot have 2 though that are doing that. My 8-year-old sleeps really, really well. I'll tell you one thing that has improved greatly in our life. And I know a lot of kids have problems with bedwetting up until 11 or something, 12. I want to say I was pissing the bed till I was 13 or some shit.
Hey, this though, dude. Embarrassing ass story, dude. Real fast, man. My parents. So I the same thing, dude. Right? I mean, how old are you when you're in 3rd grade? 8 years old, or something like that, right?
Blake is in 2nd, and he just turned 8, so that makes sense. Yeah, 8.
Okay, so I was born in February, so a little bit on the earlier side. So I'm usually one of the older ones in my class, right? So I think I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. I was 8 years old or something like that, right? And I accident every once in a while at night, right? Dude, I drink water. Jeez, gosh, forgive me, dude. My parents one time made me go to school with a diaper, dude.
What?
At 8?
At 8, bro?
Because they would be shaming me for pissing in my bed sometimes, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? Am I the only kid on earth that does this? Is something wrong with me?
No,
what's going
on,
bro? And I was
you were wearing a fucking pull-up at 8,
bro. It wasn't every day, not every day.
Oh,
right?
I know,
Relax, not every day, but they made me do it one time, right? And it would be the one. And look, I grew up playing sports, right, running around, all kind of stuff, dude. I fell down on playing. I forgot we were playing with a Nerf ball or something like that. And they're like, bro, what is that, a diaper on you? I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's crazy, dude.
I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, man. That's bullshit. Nah.
All right. Well,
and I was like, hey, I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? And for the longest time, I was like, shit, I guess all kids who are my age don't piss themselves anymore or something like that, since I'm getting shamed for this shit. And my parents made me do this thing one time because I pissed in my bed. I'm like, fuck.
No.
And now I realize that shit is absolutely normal. And I'm like,
it is 100% normal.
Up. Yeah, I'm like, that's pretty fucked up. I would never make my kid do that.
No, shit. I'm not going to make.
I've never said this to anybody in my life.
Well, so for the listeners,
thousands of people.
Yeah, for the listeners. Oh, that's great. Well, let me tell you. So stack onto that story. So
son of a bitch.
Blake, he was wetting the bed. But I'll tell you, I think a problem that our pediatrician told us was a lot of kids tend to not drink a lot of water, so they get constipated. And when they get constipated, that stool is sitting on their bladder, and so it makes them pee more at night. And so we were doing the bedwetting thing for a while, man. And I felt bad for my wife because she was fucking having to change and wash the sheets every single day for a while. And man, knock on wood, dude, we finally had a nice streak here of about a month where like he's only wet the bed one time and like things are going well for him. And so yeah, I'm excited about that. So
you should, hey man, if that happens again, you should put a diaper on him, dude.
Oh yeah, that's a great suggestion, Zach.
Son of a bitch. Let's start getting into these questions. Let's get this.
Well, and
let's focus here.
So you talked about a humiliating story. I'm gonna give you the brief version of one that's mine related to urine as well. So pre-kids, I was at my father-in-law's ranch, which, oh, by the way, we'll be spending a lot more time now there because it's official. We're moving to San Antonio, and I can finally say it out loud now, dude. Like, you don't understand how this is so huge for my fucking family. But my wife told her boss yesterday, and so I'm finally Facebook official. Anyway, we're out at the ranch, and me and my buddy, this is pre-kids, by the way. So me and my buddy, we hadn't seen each other in a while. He comes out to the ranch as well. It's 100 acres out there in the middle of nowhere. Okay. We stay up till 2 a.m. We're drinking sugar-free Red Bull mixed with vodka. Okay. We're up getting hammered at 2 a.m. You drink caffeine mixed with 200 milligrams of caffeine mixed with vodka, and you do that 3 or 4 times. You ain't going to bed and you're pretty not okay. Okay. So my father-in-law comes out and he goes, hey man, everybody's asleep. We're outside jamming rap music at 2 a.m. Everyone's asleep in the house. Hey man, are you guys going to bed tonight? Because if not, I'm going to go ahead and get up. Oh, hey, Dan, I think we need to go to bed. Long story short, I go and pass out. He goes and passes out. I get up in the middle of the night, dude, and I piss all over him. He's sleeping on an air mattress right next to my bed. I get up out of the bed, and I think I make it to the mattress, or I think I make it to the bathroom, and I get up, dude, and I'm pissing on my friend's head with his wife laying next to him on the air mattress, and she gets up, and she sees my fucking rod in her face. She calls me priest. Priest, you're peeing. Dude, there's 7 people asleep in that room. They all wake up to me peeing on Dan. Dan says, everybody go back to bed. I'm the one that's getting peed on here. He's hammered. He's trying to go back to sleep.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I get to face the entire family the next day of the guy who peed on his head when he came out to visit my father-in-law's ranch. So, with all that being said, let's dive right into Q&A.
Let's do this, man.
Dude, humiliating stories. You think I ever will live that down? Fuck no. Glad it happened before kids. So,
all right, delete this episode.
This is great, dude. Peeing on my friend, wearing a diaper. This is good shit.
Fun times.
Question number 1. This one's actually a pretty simple one in my opinion, but let's see. This gentleman writes in and says, just really, I've been working out for a little while now, but I'm really trying to figure out what's the best number of workouts or the ideal number of workouts for me to make the progress that I want to make. Okay. What do you got on that, dude?
Okay, so it sounds like this person doesn't have all of the, I guess the fine details mapped out just yet. So this tells me that this person is probably a beginner if they're asking a question of this nature. Yep. So with that context in mind, the answer is very simple. However many days you could commit. That's it. Because we say this very often, right? I'd much rather you get 3 or 4 crappy 5 to 10 minute workouts consistently every single week than get a great 4-hour workout every 2 weeks or so. Yep. So in the very beginning, and that, again, this is just contextually speaking, considering that it sounds like this person is somebody who's a little bit newer to the game.
Yeah, we miss a little context there, but I like where you're going.
Yeah. So, but I think it's safe to say, because if you're asking how many times a week do I have to work out, essentially is what it is, then that just means you don't know exactly how. You have been doing this for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So if we're talking about somebody who is advanced, my answer is going to be significantly different. But for in this particular context, like I said, it's about maintaining the behaviors and the habits and the routine of actually getting that exercise in consistently on a week-to-week basis. So however many days that is for you, that is the right answer. If it's only 2, awesome. 2 is a great start. And then you go to 3, you go to 4, or whatever it is that you're comfortable with. So that would be my answer, man. That's very plain and simple. Like I said, contextually speaking, however many days you can consistently stick with, because that's what's number 1. We'll work out the fine details later on, but in the very beginning, it's about being consistent. Period.
Yep. I love your answer, and to be honest with you, I think I'll echo your sentiments exactly. It's what's going to work best for your life that is going to maintain workout compliance, right? There's a lot of ways to go about this, and Can somebody that's working out 6 days a week for 6 months make more progress than somebody that's working out 2 days a week for 6 months? 100% yes. But the reality is this isn't a 6-month journey, dude. It's a lifelong journey. So what can you do in your life to maintain this long term? For any of you guys that follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me talking about my forearm injury in some of my stories. And the reason I talk about that is because I'm holding myself accountable. Right now, I go to the gym 2 days a week. I used to go 4 days a week. I'm trying to let this forearm injury heal. And so when I'm talking about the forearm injury, I'm like, all right, I know that I got to do something today. Well, yesterday was a day where I wasn't going to the gym. The whole day flies by. I'm fucking busy as hell. And dinner time comes around. I'm like, shit, I haven't gone on my walk. Like, I got to go on at least a long walk to get that checked in my head. And so I grabbed the dog. It was 7 o'clock. I was like, I'm out of here, babe. I got to go. I got to do this. That's just my standard, right? My standard is set in a way because I've been at this for a long time and I know it works best for me. And so I 100% agree with you. It's about consistency and about finding the least path of resistance for workout compliance. And whether that's 2 days a week or 5 days a week for you, you got to do what you can maintain long term. And I think basically we said the same shit, but I just wanted to share my own life because I very much plan to get back to the 4, but I've had to make an adjustment. And the reason I made this adjustment is because this isn't a 6-month journey. It's a lifelong journey. And you're going to have to make tweaks and adjustments along the way. And you even alluded to that. Stack that on once you have that knowledge base and that consistency down. So love it. All right. Question number 2. I have recently started my own health journey. Dude's pretty overweight. So it says he's like 75 pounds overweight. I've recently started my own health journey, but my family is not on board. My 2 kids and wife want nothing to do with healthy food, want nothing to do with exercise. And I realize I've got a long uphill battle to get them on board. Any suggestions?
Yeah, believe it or not, I've spoken to multiple people, men specifically, who have wanted to get in shape and change their life around where their family actually wasn't supportive of that decision. And to me, honestly speaking, my first inclination is like, you chose the wrong partner if they don't want you to get better and they get everybody else better. But also, I do understand that when you married this person, you decided to take on this person as your life partner, you were in a different state of mind and you accepted a much lower standard of living and just accountability, I guess we can say. But guess what? We can always change. It's never too late, right? We talk about it all the time. Our oldest client's like 73. Never too late. So here's the deal.
Homie just hit like 1,000 workouts too since he's been with us. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
he's seeing those guys hit those milestone
absolutely
workouts.
Crushing. Absolutely crushing, dude. So if you want to change things around, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But here's the reality of your situation, man. Your wife accepted you as the person who you were, not the person who you are becoming. So in order for you to get them to be on board, you have to just do what it is that you want to accomplish, whether they support you or not. Guess what? Time to put on your big boy pants. It's time to start doing the things that you know are going to help bring you to where you want to be so that you can start leading your family by example. Because we all know, and we've talked about this before, that leadership, that's the only way to do it. By example. Yep. So you can't tell them what that you need to do or what they need to do. You need to show them what they need to do, and they need to see how that positively changes and affects your life. And once they start seeing you live your life with better libido, better energy, better sleep, better strength, better functionality, better attitude, better participation, you're just happier. They're going to be like, shit, I want to do it too now. Yep. How can I do it too? So if you are having a wife who just, that's not the lifestyle they accepted before, show them why this lifestyle is better.
I love that, dude.
Simple.
I love it. Like, and what you just said is show them. Again, it's the leading by example, right? Yeah. Yes. And so, I'm speaking directly to the guy who asked this, man. What I want you to know is, congrats on making the decision to improve your life, right? Like, I commend you on that big first step, because that's the hardest part, dude. Like, I'll be honest with you, is that this journey there's nothing about it that's easy. But there's nothing about an overweight life that's easy either. And so once you embrace the fact that life is going to be hard regardless, right? You got to choose your set of challenges. And so for me, I choose my heart. The fat life wasn't for me. I prefer the fit life, but I will tell you that my challenges are, pretty immense, just like you guys, right? And so for you that decided this, man, again, I commend you on the decision, but just realize this: that there's going to be a phase over the next few months and really maybe even the next year where you are going to feel like you're all alone in this. Okay. You're going to feel like this journey is all about you. And deep down inside, it's about your family as well, but you're going to feel lonely and you're going to get into a dark spot at times. And I'm just trying to prepare you for what's to come, because when nobody else is bought in and it's your own family and you feel like you're the only one putting in the work and trying to get better. Exactly what Zach just said, dude. Show them why this life is better. I will tell you that in the Fatherhood, we have a little saying that says it feels damn good to feel damn good. And when you show your family how good it feels to feel good, right? When you show your family that it does feel damn good to feel damn good, they're going to want that. They're going to crave that. And they're going to be willing to make the little tiny investments. You guys call them sacrifices, the little tiny investments in their health to get better. They're going to want to start going on walks with you. They're going to want to start eating a little bit healthier. They're going to want to start going to bed instead of staying up all night watching Netflix. They're going to want to feel good because they see you feeling good. So if you need support in that journey, dude, just reach out to us. We got a lot of guys who have been in a similar situation as you. Just know that you don't have to go at it alone. Go into the show notes, click those links, dude, and get into our world, because I think there's a lot of things that we could do to support you, so that you can put this behind you for good, but also have your family fully bought in, man. So that's the key, dude. When your whole family feels good, life is good. So, last one, dude. Question number 3. This one's when I saw this, I had to do it because, as the Fatherhood and as the Fatherhood Experience show, we talk a lot about culture because it impacts our kids. And so this one's good, dude. And your I know I'm going to prep you for this question because your answer is going to be quite a bit different than mine, and your answer is going to have to you're going to have to make adjustments to your answer as you go forward, because Ace is just not old enough to be exposed to some of this stuff. But when I ask you this question, I want to know how you will handle it, right?
I know where this is leading. All right, let's go.
So, this dude, he's got 2 kids also. How do you handle difficult conversations with your kids about some of the things that they're seeing in school, specifically gays, trans, pronouns, some of the stuff that you and I didn't grow up with, right? And some of the stuff that's being shoved in their face. Specifically, how do you handle challenging conversations with your kids about boys dressing like girls, people being gay, and letting them know that that's okay, and then also drawing that fine line between them being indoctrinated or sucked into this movement, if you will. So how do you plan to handle that? What suggestions do you have for this guy? Because again, you and we're gonna have to handle a little bit differently because of our kids' ages.
Right. No, and this is actually a great question that is in complete alignment with the fatherhood, in the sense that this is shit that we all have to deal with if we have kids, because every kid has to go through the public school system, right? Unless you get them in a private school or you hire your own teacher, which is something that my wife and I have actually discussed. But that's only contingent upon the fact that we do have one of those teachers who are trying to force their gender fluidity and their ideals on our kids, because I don't care what you are. And we spoke about this many times in the past. We don't care what you are, what you do, what you represent, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. Just don't force it on our children. That's all it really is, man. So when it comes to
grooming,
the whole talks about,
we're against the grooming.
Yes, do not groom our kids. That's all I care about, right? That's it. I won't have to do a damn thing as long as nobody tries to groom my child, period. But you're going to be exposed to kids like that, right? I was looking something up, and it was talking about how you even mentioned this, like 0.5% of people are like trans, or at least identify
less than
0.5%
of the country. Yeah.
Yes. Less than 0.5. Right. And that's consistent with what I saw. It was like 1.5 million or something like that, with 330 million Americans. That's literally about the same math.
I saw Jordan Peterson on a little podcast clip yesterday. And he said that he referenced another stat that might be helpful. He said you have a 1 in 3,000 chance of your child transitioning. 1 in 3,000. So I don't know where all those numbers align, but it's pretty rare, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So what I like to do is I like to just educate and be straight up and don't sugarcoat shit, right? Because if you sugarcoat things, then guess what? They're not going to get the gist. If you beat around the bush, guess what? Your kids might make false conclusions and not really understand exactly what you're saying. So, well, guess what? They want to talk about real shit. Give them a real answer. Doesn't matter. If they're old enough to ask a question of that nature, then guess what? They're old enough to comprehend the answer that you're going to give them. So it's like what we do with our clients, right? If you want to be best prepared for the roadblocks ahead, understand what the hell they are. Now, I'm not saying that it's a roadblock per se, but you're going to be exposed to different types of people from all walks of life. That is the reality of the world. We have 8 billion people. You will have different ethnicities. You will have autistic people all over the spectrum. You will have gay people. You will have trans people. You're going to have all of those things. Guess what? Just tell your kids that these people exist. Do not try to hide them and shelter them from them. Just educate them as to what is going on in their mind. They're a little bit different. They're wired a little bit different. Guess what? It has nothing to do with you, and understand that they are not the norm. They're exceptions to the norm. Some of them might be outliers, anomalies, whatever it may be. Some of them, like some kids will have defects. Like there's just different kinds of kids, and you just have to set their expectations in a real way so that they understand that these people are out there. Because guess what? We could get into a whole conversation about bullying and how bullying happens. How does that happen? It happens because you don't let your kid understand that there are different kids with different personalities and different wirings of the brain. So they get picked on, right? So that's a whole other conversation. So honestly speaking, it's not difficult to me because I think it's mandatory. Every fucking dad needs to tell every single one of their kids that there are different kids from all walks of life, and to accept them for who they are. Just understand that it has nothing to do with how you are going to be raised. Just treat them. If they're a good individual, that's all we care about, right, Jason? We always talk about just be a stand-up individual, you know, just do the right thing and don't be an asshole. That's all we ask. That's all we ask.
Character is it, man. Like if I'm going to judge somebody, it's going to be off of their character. I don't care whether you're gay, bi, trans, whatever, dude. None of that matters to me. At the end of the day, do you have a good heart, right? And so
that's it.
I'm very much against the grooming, and we've done episodes on this before, and I'm sure we'll do more.
Because I will say that too. I'm very against grooming. Just teach my kid math like you're supposed to, please.
Exactly. And it's been shoved in our face for a while, and we're not going to get into why it's being shoved in our face. I mean, I think it's all by design, and we've talked about it, but the reality is this, dude, is like, let's even talk about some of the recent shootings, right? We're seeing a lot of these trans commit these shootings, the trans people commit these shootings, or people who are identifying with that community. I think we've reached a point where we can all agree that this is a mental illness. And I have compassion for people that are truly trans, because I can't imagine what it would feel like to be a man stuck in a woman's body or vice versa. So I understand that. I have compassion for that. But where I draw the line is you grooming my kid to join you in this movement. When, you know, I referenced Jordan Peterson, and he talked about this clip. He's like, yeah, I saw. He goes, I heard a lady talking about a 5 and a 7-year-old. She says, yeah, my 7-year-old's a trans kid, and my 5-year-old is pansexual. And he's like, whoa.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. So you have two kids that both had a 1 in like 3,000 chance of becoming this. And coincidentally, both of them are some kind of gender condition, or whatever we call it, gender ideology.
Dysmorphia.
And and that's not on you. Yeah. So it's very hard for me to believe. And so this grooming that we're seeing is disturbing. But let's tie it back. So, because you know that, like, we'll do another episode on that, because our dads like to hear about that stuff. Because we all, like you said, it's something we all have to deal with as fathers. So here's my stance on this, man. I'm with you. I do have to have these conversations with Blake, and Blake does like to play with girls' toys on occasion, and like put the fucking towel on his head and run around and be like, I'm a girl. And like, he'll he's like, yeah, I like this Barbie. Like, I want to, what is this? He's exploring, right? He's exploring. He's a very creative kid. I'm by no means going to say, hey, dude, you like that towel on your head, huh? Oh, we should definitely grow your hair out.
Yeah. You're a girl now.
Dressing like a girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like encouraging that behavior. So as a dad, I'm like, well, son, actually, we don't play like that, because there are people out there that might try to do something to you if you're starting to act like that, right? Like, we want you to act like the boy that you are. And that's where I leave it. It's like, if you want to get creative and you want to play like that, play with girl toys, I get it. He's fucking 8, dude. But I'm not going to sit here and tell him that, so the way that I address it is this, because he's asked questions before, and we'll be out in public, and he's like, mommy or daddy, like, that person looked like a boy, but was a girl. Like, he'll say some stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, son, what you have to realize is, like, there's 8 billion people in the world. There's a lot of people in the world, and not everybody's going to look like you, man. Or not everybody's going to look like dad, right? Dad has this big ass ugly beard. You've got blonde hair. Zach has a shaved head sometimes, right? Like not everybody's going to look the same. And what we want to do is we want to look past that and look through that and judge them off of how they treat you and how they treat other people, right? It's all about the heart and not what they're, how they express themselves. And he's like, okay, that makes sense. And I know that we're going to have conversations around this as we move forward. But again, going back, like the grooming piece pisses me off, but I think I'm with you. Like we have to tell them the truth, dude. There's no way to go about this. Now there's a way to tell them the truth and it's a soft truth, right? You don't got to come out and be like, well, yeah, that dude likes to fuck other guys in the ass. That's not exactly how I'm going to address it with my 8-year-old.
Very different approach. Yeah.
But I have to tell him the truth, man, because the world's going to smack him in the face with the truth before I can. And so I would rather be the one that tells him the truth and let him know.
That's right. Final thing, and let me get in 10 more seconds, dude. Guys, if you have a child who is 5 who thinks that they have gender dysmorphia, they think they're the opposite gender of whatever it is that they were assigned at birth, blah, blah, blah. You know how that whole thing goes. Just wait till puberty at least. Puberty solves
give him a chance.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because guess what? When I was 8 years old, I mean, yeah, I had little crushes here and there, but when I was 5, I didn't care. I didn't start to become actually physically or sexually attracted to women until I hit puberty. Guess what? That's when I'm like, oh, I am a man.
Bro, you were wearing diapers at 8. You didn't have crushes.
Fuck you.
That's a good place to wrap. That's a good place to wrap. All right. Hey, man, this was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with you guys on these episodes. So if you have questions, email those into info@thefatherhoodexperience.com. And as always, man, if you got any value out of today, it made you think, made you laugh, or you think that it might help another dad in your life, just share the show. Get the show out. Spread the show. We're not going to run ads. We're not here to bore you. We hope you have a fantastic week this week. It's Momentum Monday today. Get out, crush it, make some moves. And we'll see you in next week's episode. You guys take care.